Kyoshu, a resonance. It's a word that has always fascinated me. Images have something in common with music, because images have their own resonance. The force that makes them go beyond photographic reality lies precisely in a sort of resonance. Like many Japanese words, Kyoshu has multiple meanings. It means a memory, a reminder, or a resonance. Like the feeling that makes me want to go back to Japan, to sink back into that mysterious world. For the Japanese, time is rhythm, gesture, habit, and return. The past doesn't pass away. It runs alongside the present in the land of the rising sun, where everything coexists beneath a sky full of symbols and signs that resound and seem to announce a downpour of arcane meanings over the city. Sort of regular andante cadence is typical of Japanese reality. Everything flows on tracks to stations that are the obligatory stops to reach a sort of everyday beyond. On the billboards for a funeral parlor, a bonzo face urges commuters to make haste to order their coffins while there's still time, because time saves space. You can't see the forest. You can't see the forest. You can't see the forest. Time in unstable balance, tense and ready for release as the string of a bow, summing up the ancient sense of focus on the center. The arrow is the metaphor for a life shot toward an unknown target. For the trees. My chance to return to Japan arrived with a name spoken over the phone by a Japanese friend. A word that opened the horizon of my imagination, unleashing a strong emotion, a resonance set dancing inside me, a sort of euphoria of departure. Destination Mount Azo, a volcanic cauldron more than 20 kilometers wide, still active, an imaginary world of telluric presences. Kagura, a word I had never heard before. It indicates a legendary dance capable of evoking the resonance of the spirits of the earth among men. Like any cosmogony, Kagura narrates the origins of the world when the gods opened the gate of the primordial cave. The world was wreathed in shadow, and the gods lived underground. The throngs of spirits imprisoned in the great underground river organized a concert to convince Amaterasu to emerge from the earth. They persuaded the birds to sing, and they built a mirror, a sword, and a comb for the Sun Princess, capable of rending the rock below the surface. Kagura is more powerful than any sword, because Kagura is the vigor of the gods who smashed open the celestial cavern.
もうちょっと膝なんか曲げましたらすぐ昔キセルっていうのがありましたもんな。あれでパーッとその食らせやられてたんですもんな。でだいぶ顔やら頭食らせやられてたんですね。もう激しかったっすな。まだ覚えんとかって言ってからやっぱ足なんかふざりよりましたよな。そして刀なんかがですな岡村に使いましたでしょ。あれ全部研ぎましたよ毎日。ゾロゾロしてひげなんか剃るようにこう真剣でしたからですな。今は戻るとそして金銭的な感覚がないですもんな。これだけ今日かぶらを舞う人が今19名おりますけど、そういう人が今日はいくらになっちゃうかというそういう計算の残念なもう奉仕でかぶらは奉仕するって言ってですねいうような考え方ですもん。ただで全部私たちの芸を披露するというような考え方なんですけどね。
The origins of Kagura are very ancient, yet its presence in contemporary Japanese society is still very strong, because it is linked to any masked dance performed for the holidays in the Shinto calendar. It's a way of invoking the gods to give new vigor to the life of mankind. This focus on the vigor of life is full of allusions to the erotic aspects of vital energy, and this erotic element becomes a part of the play of the resonances. Manipulating magical symbols, the dancers are capable of creating an irresistible attraction, reinforcing the connection between men and the gods. The most probable etymology of Kagura is Kami no Kura, which means, more or less, the assembly of the gods, a reminder that the gods are truly present in the ritual dance, seated among the men as vital spirits. Kami refers to the link between men and the gods in everything that lives, that takes part in nature, that which gives life to every manifestation of life. This is why calling the spirits together with the dance reinforces the links between men. This is the meaning of Kagura. I had imagined this dance thinking about the few images familiar to me from Japanese culture. Buto, no, kabuki. Rarefied movements, precise gestures, dense with meaning. But actually, the Feast of the Gods, Kagura, is also an opportunity to party, a night devoted to the cult of Saki. A chance to act like children, a regression justified by discussion about the gods. At first, this pretext irritated me. I tried to cling to a sort of rationalism that rejected what looked like Japanese nonsense, the same sort of nonsense that irritates me when I see films of voodoo rites, people speaking in tongues, tarantula cults and other superstitious tomfoolery. Well, the most interesting encounter was with the leader of the dancers at dinner. He wasn't particularly articulate, but he had a special aura that hypnotized everyone. In the end, he made a speech that was very moving. I couldn't understand the language, but I could sense the presence of the goddess of brotherhood. So I was left with the documentary and a strange red thread, a poetic device, the juxtaposition of the modern and the ancient. Even in the most apparently extreme present, Japan seems to reenact the same repetitive play of gestures and mimicry. It's as if the place to look for reality were in pairings of abstract, separate identities, distant models to be reproduced and perfected. Obsessed by imitation of natural life, condemned by a stereotype that makes them the father creators of gadget robots. A creation myth continued on a desolate scale. time flows through the gestures of each day, like animated letters of an arcane alphabet of things permitted and forbidden, with the final aim of facilitating the flow of existence. With both people and paintings, often the copy is preferable to the original. And to see something fully, you need two eyes, one for love and one for suspicion. Symbolism that was perhaps a bit trivial, appearing in the ability to reinvent the past, disguised as modern-day demons of the young rebels who imitate the rites of the West in their street ceremonies. I was filled with a sense of uselessness and strange indifference by those rituals connected with seasons of the year or seasons of fashion. Life comes first. Just as a foot, when it trips, searches for many positions to keep from falling, so thoughts can suddenly trip and fall, and then we give them a form, finding the words, the ones that are available to us, that instinctively come to mind without thinking. Mount Fuji as the backdrop for an industrial landscape seen at 300 kilometers per hour from the Shinkansen, a vision so rare and so symbolic, was the sign I was waiting for. A sign that even today the entrance to the Gate of the Gods is defended by the crater of an image. In the extreme acceleration of life, the spirit and the eye get accustomed to seeing what's false, to understanding only half of what's there. In the end, we're just travelers, and our acquaintance with distant lands and peoples is the equivalent of peering through the windows of a train.